Hi
Hey,
guys, how
Rachel.
are you?
We're good. How are you?
Doing great. So to start, I want to ask you all a fun question first. I think everyone kind of has a song that they would sit in a car and sob to, much like All Too Well. And so for all of you, what is the song that you would just sit and cry to if given the chance?
Oh, my brain
Mm,
immediately goes all by myself, Celine Dion.
mm.
I mean,
Good.
that boo choo ba ba da. Yeah! I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mine would be Back to Black by Amy
Oh,
Winehouse.
good choice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good
I
one.
wish I didn't have to choose it.
Nice. Nice.
There's a Karen Dalton song that I really love, but I cannot remember the title of it. But it's basically like, if I should leave you, remember this fondly. Those are not the lyrics, but it is so good. And I don't want to sing it, you know what I mean?
Will it take you somewhere you don't want to go right
It's going to take me
now?
somewhere I don't want to go for this interview. Yeah.
I
Well,
love
not a
it. Those are
power
all
ballad.
perfect. Yeah, there's nothing like it. Like all coming back to me now. A great choice, just belt when you want to.
Yes.
But to start for with you, Winston. First of all, I love when you get to have your moment in movies. It's great. Every movie I've ever seen you in, you just have that moment where I'm like, yeah, someone's gonna be in danger, and it's their fault. When you kind of read the script and you're like, all right, this is his time, how does that make you feel as an actor knowing that, like, yeah, I get to come in and be that badass that people are expecting me to be?
uh, thank you so much for saying that. That means a lot. I try to never look at these characters as people who know they're badasses. I think of them as like doing something that they know they have to in the moment.
Mm.
And it really gives me a sense of like meaning and connection with the rest of the characters because a lot of the characters I've played have they're very attached to the people around them. They're doing it for their community or they're doing it for their family, like in us. And now it's like doing it for my best friend. And I
Mhm.
love that in a movie about people who break things for a living. Yeah, people who break things for a living. Um, Dan, the stunt coordinator, is this kind of healing force for Colt. He's saying, get back on the horse. Like, I've got your back. The back that you broke, I've got it.
Mhm.
I've got it. I've got it. And he's there to heal. And everything he does is because he's attached to this guy and he wants to make sure that he's his best version. So I really love these characters and I love that they end up looking like badasses, but to me, they're
Mhm.
always there to help.
It's because those characters have been duked.
I like that.
Ooh, I like that.
I like
I like
You have to
that.
You're
trademark that
welcome.
that. You should
now.
copyright
I like that. Yeah.
that.
Oh, and Hannah, boy, oh boy, do I love this woman's Coke can that she is just constantly,
Yes.
she has a Diet Coke can
Yes.
and
So
just walking
She's
good.
around because,
mainlining Diet Coke. Oh, yes.
yeah, she really is. Well, and I think, a lot of people obviously see you now as kind of this hero figure because of Ted Lasso, but I was like, is this is giving Hannah Waddingham as the witch energy, and I love it so much.
Mm.
But for
Mm.
you, when you get to kind of lean into that more like the meta representation of evil within Hollywood. What
Yes.
for
Oh, I
you
like
is
that.
the kind of
I
fun
love
of
that today.
doing those little things like the Coke can or like how she kind of interacts with all of these people she's working with?
Well, it was a lovely chance because of playing Rebecca for a while. It was a lovely chance for me. That's really astute of you to pick up on that kind of witchy poo energy
Hmm.
from before, because I wanted to get back
Mm.
to that. And I love the fact that when I get a role like this, I can get my teeth into and finding the honest, justifiable reason why she's a bit of a cow. You
Mm.
know, I love the fact that I could lean into the fact she just wants to get the job done. However, whatever it's going to take, she's got to make this movie for, as she says, little people like you. You know, she that, and I
Yeah.
loved that about her. That really, that particular part of it really informed me. Going back to the beginning of it, the scene with Ryan at the beginning. It was such a lovely journey to actually have something to get my teeth into like that, where her motivation and her actions are slightly questionable.
Mm.
Yeah, and Stephanie, you and I are Tony's friends. I don't know if you remember
I do
that story.
remember.
you stealing the water bottles at the ponies. But what I
it
love
was very
about
hot and there was no water, and
it was
yeah,
the
we
worst
just
experience. It was
hoarded
so
water
hot.
backstage to pass to everyone in the audience.
But what I love about seeing you kind of in film and television is versus like theater work is that you have come into this kind of action star in your own right and with a comedy action star at that throughout a lot of your work. And so you get to be in one of the biggest action sequences within the movie. How is it kind of adapting to, going from being on stage to being in something like a giant car chase going through the streets where Ryan Gosling's just like surfing on a flat board on the street?
Yeah, I think I'm still processing. I'm like, wow. I mean, truly working on this movie felt like, mama, we're making a movie. It was just so big and epic, and everything was shot practically. So people are really doing these stunts live in front of you. And I think in terms of the action part, my favorite thing that feels related to theater is like it's a lot like rehearsing. Oftentimes when you go to set, if you're doing a scene, you might read through a few times, but you don't get to necessarily rehearse. But with stunt choreography, you have to train, and it feels like a dance sequence. So there's something really satisfying about that, and getting to bring that sort of theater background of blocking and dance into the world of action and film.
We got
and
to
just
play a bit.
Yeah, totally.
100%.
Yeah, and I love it. And so for last question, my favorite universe in this world is Ryan Gosling as a stuntman. This is now the second movie where he has just been a stuntman for some reason. And I love it. I think it's very fun. But I do love also how just meta this movie gets to be because of that. And for you guys, do each of you have a favorite joke that you got to either say in the movie or that you just watched and enjoyed that leaned into that meta-ness of a movie being the making of a movie?
I mean, it was this was like meta off the Richter scale, wasn't it? The whole third act of it all. The like, oh, what are we going to do with the third act? And really, we're thinking, hold on, these are entirely new pages for our third act.
Yeah.
But it added a kind of palpable, brilliant nervousness.
Yes.
I
Absolutely.
loved it. I loved it. Leaning to what you were saying about the being kind of there's a theatrical thing of it all. You could feel all of us a bit like, woo, we're all on this ride together. And I think that totally comes across in every scene.
Absolutely. And then there are moments where we are playing stuntmen, and then some of the stuntmen are playing actors in the movie. And it's just kind of this weird crossover universe where nothing makes sense, but
There's
it
no lines.
makes sense to make it great.
Yeah.
One of my favorite meta moments is the first sequence with Jodie, with Emily Blunt's character, Jodie, as the director. And first of all, she's incredible and so freaking funny. But just as a director, that first sequence where she's on set and everybody's just like scrambling to her, like, do you like this prop? And okay, actually, we don't have that person that we said we thought we had. And the way she has to deal with every party, like, just walking to the camera, the amount of things a director is bombarded with, I just feel like is so accurate, and she swam through that in such a hilarious but also like very real way.
That bit when she goes, actually, that shot's fantastic.
yeah,
It's
I
absolutely,
love it.
It's so deftly done and such a funny beat. Really fabulous.
Yeah, I love it so much.
Sexy
Thank you guys so
bacon.
much for talking with me.
Sexy bacon is my favorite line in this film, I would say.
You're welcome. I did say to Ryan, I was like, dude, if you end up making out that you came out with that, I'm going to tackle you to the ground and make you admit.
Say goodbye to your knees.
It's now labeled that he did not come up with sexy bacon. So now we have it.
Got it.
So,
Just saying.
but thank you guys so much for talking with me. I love all of your careers, and I feel like I could just talk to you guys for an hour about everything that you've been in. So I'm glad I have a time limit, but thank you guys so much for talking with me, and I can't wait for people to get to see The Fall Guy.
Thank you,
Thank
lovely.
you.
All the best.